Game 6 is in the books, guys. As a Phoenix Suns fan, I'm very disappointed. Dallas Mavericks 113, Phoenix Suns 86. Before we get into the breakdown of this game, I just want to say this is probably the most boring one-sided series I've ever seen. Like, not a single one of these games has been close yet. So, as a basketball fan, I've really not enjoyed watching this series. It's been a pretty disappointing series and not fun to watch. Going forward, Game 6, the Suns just beat themselves. I don't think, maybe one of the Pelicans' losses, maybe two of them, because there was a couple games Brandon Ingram really went off, but I don't think the Dallas Mavericks have straight, outplayed the Suns and, just said, they're a better team. The Suns are beating themselves in this series. Clearly. I will give a shout out to the Dallas Mavericks defense. They did play great defense tonight. Great defense, Someone has to force the turnovers. But there was 22 turnovers by the Suns tonight. 22. We average 5 turnovers a game. If that. So, I don't know. It was a really weird game. No one wanted to shoot the ball. Devin Booker tried to do too much. He was minus 19 with 19 points. He made most of his shots at the free throw line. He couldn't make a three. He couldn't make his mid-range. It just wasn't Book's night, which is usually a bad night for the Suns in general. But typically, someone fills in the role and does a good job and picks it up for him, which was Ayton tonight. Ayton had 21 and 11 rebounds, so you can't really be that mad at him. But Chris Paul only shot 7 times. I understand. Throughout the whole season, on an average night, Chris Paul gets you 13, 14 points. That's just what he does. He's not really a dominant shooter, but in the playoffs when we need you to pick it up and get it going. Because obviously Book didn't have it tonight, and you could see that from the first quarter. Book just was not feeling it. Actually, he had an okay first quarter. He had 8 points, but second quarter, he didn't get, I don't think he made a shot in the second to third quarter. So everyone's going to have an off night. People are going to go out there and rip Book, but Book's a superstar. At the end of the day, everyone has an off night. And tonight, obviously, was his night off. But Crowder played okay. He only shot 4 times, though. 1 of 1 for 3. Super weird. Mikal Bridges missed 4 faders, which was just not him. He usually makes at least half of those. He went 2 of 7 tonight, and he went 1 for 1 from 3. So it's not like they played horrible. The shooting percentage on the night ended up being 39% because the bench was absolutely horrendous tonight. 0 for 3 from Wainwright, 1 for 5 from Cam Johnson, 2 for 4 from Biyombo, 0 for 3 from Campaign, 1 for 6 from Shamet. So the starters, they weren't, Booker was bad tonight, but they weren't completely inefficient. The bench was awful. It just was not a good game for the bench. The fact that Biyombo played 14 minutes, went minus 13, that shows you kind of where the night was. But shout out to the Mavericks. They played well tonight. Reggie Bullock was very good. He went 5 for 11 from 3. And obviously, he's not there to score. So anytime you get over 15 points from Reggie, it's a good night for them. Spencer Dinwiddie had 15 off the bench, all 3-pointers. He didn't take a single shot that wasn't a 3-pointer. So he went 5 of 7. He's not going to do that every night. But we all know Dinwiddie is a legit scorer in the NBA. Luka. Okay, so I don't want to come off as a Luka hater here, guys, because I do think Luka Doncic is a special talent in the NBA. He should be everyone's favorite player because he doesn't have the jump out of the... He doesn't have the hops to jump out of a gym. He doesn't have the explosiveness to get by people. He has his own game style, which is different than anyone in the NBA, and he is phenomenal. He is a superstar, but he could be so much better. He gets away with a lot of stuff by getting to the free throw line and being, in my opinion, he gets what I call the Luka whistle way too often. Everyone tonight was talking about how great he was. Dude was 11 for 26. That's not a great night. That's a bad night. That's a bad 30-point performance. He shot 14 free throws, 9 for 14. So I personally didn't think it was a great night from Luka. He's going to have to play better in Game 7 if they're going to win. But Jalen Brunson had another okay night. He went 6 for 14 for 18, but he was plus 24 when he was on the court. So it was a weird game, guys. I can't tell you enough how the Mavericks aren't just going out there and beating the Suns. Like, they shot 41% from three, and that's what saved them today. But it's not like they're going out there and just destroying the Suns. It's such a weird series. And I will say, I don't want to say the refs were the issue in this one, because anytime you beat someone by 20, the refs are kind of out of the picture. But the refs were very frustrating to watch as a Suns fan. Ayton got a technical foul on an obvious foul that Luka went up on defensive blocking. It was in the third quarter, and like we had a chance of a slight comeback going. We had a little run. We brought it to like 15 points when it was starting the quarter at 22 or something. And he goes up, dunks over him, and then looked like he elbowed him in the face. They ended up saying it wasn't that, but it was taunting, and all he did was this. He didn't even do anything. No arm movements, no facial gestures. Just stared at him, just said, all right, cool. Just dunked on you. Got a technical. So as a sports fan, I am not enjoying watching the NBA playoffs right now. It's very frustrating. And I wish and hope that they can change these rules, because at the beginning of the season, they weren't calling these little half fouls or whatnot. So it was weird. It was great to have JJ Redick on the mic, because he doesn't care. He is rich. He made lots of money in his playing career. So he knows he can go out and he can just do his podcast the rest of his life, because it's killing it, and he's going to be just fine. So the guy literally is like, hey, I don't want to say this, but can you say this? Because what do you think, JJ? And he gives you the legit response. So weird game from the Suns. Obviously, I think the Suns are going to win in 7 at home. The way this series has been, maybe we'll finally have a close game and fun to watch game. But at this point, I have no idea. It could go out and the Suns win by 20 again. So who knows? Good adjustments by the Mavs tonight. Bad game for the Suns. You don't usually see the Suns play 2 bad games in a row. So I'm expecting the Suns to win at home. But for the overall championship run of this team, obviously this next game's humongous. You have to win. But through the first 2 series, they have played very inconsistent basketball for a team that played super consistent basketball all year. I watched every game, and I'm very frustrated as a fan. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Hopefully we finish it out in 7, or I am going to be a very sad boy making this video next. So I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out.